our big St. Patrick's Day weekend, actually, a show. So if all the fighters want to come up and take a seat here on the stage, and we'll start the press conference shortly.
Oh, I thought it was time.
So before I start the press conference today, and we appreciate everyone coming out, appreciate everyone's support for this event. We had a great media support, great fan support, great support from all the fighters on the show. I wanted to say a word about, I had to take a quick trip to Washington, D.C. yesterday. Vladimir Klitschko, who's a longtime friend of mine and longtime client, we started K2 Promotions together. He was up there in Washington, D.C. I have the pin here with the American flag and the Ukrainian flag, and he was up there. Just want to acknowledge his efforts up there in Washington, D.C. He met with a lot of politicians up there on Capitol Hill to lobby for continued support for the terrible situation that Ukraine's going through right now, defending their country, literally fighting for their lives. Vladimir fought here at Madison Square Garden 3 times. Vitaly Klitschko fought here 2 times. So both Klitschko brothers have a great history here at Madison Square Garden, and just want to acknowledge all the efforts and the hardship that they're going through in Ukraine right now. With that, I want to start with, again, just thanking everyone for the support, especially many big thanks to everyone at Madison Square Garden. This is it's only the most famous arena in the world, but it's my favorite arena in the world to promote here in Madison Square Garden. It doesn't get any bigger. The lights don't get any brighter than Madison Square Garden here in New York City, the media capital of the world. As I mentioned, the Klitschkos fought here together 5 times. Triple G fought here. He fought twice in the theater, and he fought a number of times in the big arena in Madison Square Garden. If you can sell out the Garden, then you pretty much made it. This is the hardest arena in the world to sell out, but also the best arena when it comes to energy from the fans. We saw that November 9th when Callum fought here in his last performance in Madison Square Garden. Now only 4 months later, he's headlining MSG again. So that's a huge statement for his career. It's a huge statement for the support that Dana White is giving us and the UFC Fight Pass. It's going to be broadcast live on UFC Fight Pass. The doors open at 6 o'clock. Tickets starting at $45, although there's only a few remaining. And we encourage all the fans to come out and support this show. With that being said, let's see, I want to give a special thanks, actually, by name to Joel Fisher of Madison Square Garden, to Sal Federico, who's been an invaluable resource, and Larry Torres for Madison Square Garden. All of them, it's such a great promotional team. Joanne as well. Just the support we get at Madison Square Garden is terrific. We're happy to be here. After the November 9th show, coming back here for St. Patrick's Day just feels like it's a whole different energy. For St. Patrick's Day, all the Irish fighters are out here. Joe Ward is on the show. Feargal McCrory is on the show. Actually, Callum Walsh is on the show. So it's a very Irish-based show, looking for the Irish fans. But we have so many other great fighters on the show that we'll get to in a minute. With that, I want to bring up Jill Diamond from the WBC. The main event will be fighting for the WBC Continental Americas Super Welterweight title. So on behalf of the WBC, Jill, welcome. I know you have a long-standing relationship with the Klitschko brothers as well, and the support of Ukraine.
Hello, everybody. I feel like I'm talking to my family. St. Patrick's Day, New York City, the Garden. What more can I say about this other than authentic? You have 2 young men who've spent their entire youth dreaming about being champions, and this is their opportunity. This is not fake news. These are real boxers. This is a real boxing match, and it's a privilege to be a part of it. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman and Alberto Leon want to thank UFC and Tom particularly for this wonderful undercard and this wonderful champions that will be fighting. It's just thrilling. And for bringing this fight to New York on St. Patrick's Day, what could be better than that? So whether you are wearing your Kazakh blue or donning your green for the Irish, show up, support. You're going to have a great time. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jill. I also want to acknowledge our sponsors for this show. Without their support, these type of events wouldn't be possible. I want to acknowledge Hollerhead Whiskey, who's been a strong supporter of our series and also sponsoring Callum. I want to acknowledge Forged Irish Stout, Conor McGregor's Irish Stout. That's a big supporter of this show, and Enda from Legends sells a lot of the Forged Irish Stout. If you want the freshest beer, go to Enda's Legends Bar. And also Olympet is a sponsor from Kazakhstan. Hustler Casino. And last but not least, we're going to have the after party at Legend Sports Bar. So thank you again, Enda, for all your support. Not only hosting a lot of Fight Week events at your place, but also just getting the word out. Big support for Feargal, McCrory, who's on the show. And it's just nice. You come to a city like New York City and you're welcomed with friends like Enda and Jill and all that for their support. So we appreciate that. Now, with that being said, I want to get to the fighters. I want to have a few notes here that just want to make sure I get everything the right way with the introductions. So we can. It was when we were putting the show together. I was kind of going over with Madison Square Garden who would be important and vital to have on this show. Now being the second time again that we're promoting in 4 months, and going back and forth, we both recognized and as manager Keith Connolly reach out to us directly. Having Reshat Mahdi on the show is very important. He's a big fan favorite in the Albanian community in New York City here in general, called the Albanian Bear, and just the support that he gets from his fans is tremendous. Reshat, let's see. So let me just go back to this podium here is a little bit small here. So Reshat is super lightweight. He's 14-0. Next to him is New York Golden Glove 6-time champion and representing the NYPD, Nisa Rodriguez. Great to have Nisa on the show. It wasn't easy finding an opponent for Nisa, but looks like we finally got it done, and it's going to be great to have her on the show. We also want to promote the fact that on Thursday night, the FDNY boxing team is going to have their event here at the same arena, the MSG Theater, the theater at MSG, Thursday night. So make sure to all come out, support the FDNY Battle of the Badges event. That'll be a tremendous event. That'll be streamed live on the UFC Fight Pass YouTube channel. So we definitely want to support the NYPD, having Nisa here, and the FDNY with their event on Thursday night. Then we have one of my favorite boxers here in New York City, and someone who's Elvis Grant, who's here, who's integrally involved with his career now, is the Hebrew Hammer, Cletus Seldin. He's rated number 9 in the world in the WBA. Cletus is a fan favorite. Cletus is a great character, a lot of charisma, and brings a lot of energy to the show. Then sitting next to him in the main event is Dauren Yeleussinov. Dauren is 11-3 with 10 knockouts. Has a lot of, you can tell he's coming to win this fight. He came all the way from Kazakhstan. Normally, with all the Triple G fights, I was on the side with Kazakhstan, and I'm very familiar with the Kazakh fighters, the quality of the fighters that they produce, especially from their amateur program. So we're happy to have Dauren coming here all the way from Kazakhstan to fight for this WBC title. With that, then we have someone who I've known from before, who actually made pro debut on one of the Triple G shows, but we're happy to have 2016 Irish Olympian Joe Ward, light heavyweight from Ireland, 10-1 with 6 knockouts. Joe's very popular both in Ireland and over here where he's fought. And then Feargal's fighting for the WBA Continental Americas title. The WBA belt is here on display as well. This is a big fight for Feargal. He fought here in the November 9th show. Got a great reaction from the fans. And also fighting at MSG now, 4 months apart. So with that, I'll get to some kind of Q&A here with the fighters. Reshat, this is your 5th time fighting at Madison Square Garden. What makes it so special for you fighting in an arena like this?
Hi everybody, how you doing? How's everything? Yeah, I mean, want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to fight in the card. MSG is like my second home, so I'm a New York native, so I just like to come here, put on a good show, and this is my home. I don't want to fight anywhere else.
Tell us about the fan support that you're expecting. We know you sold a lot of tickets and have a lot of fans coming out. How does that feel having so many fans in the arena cheering for you?
It's good. I like when my family and my friends and my fans come out and support me when there's people there that's excited and wanting to watch boxing. It puts on a better show. It makes me want to go out there and either he goes down or I go down. So that's pretty much how it's going to go out tomorrow, Friday night.
Looking forward to seeing Reshat.
So thank you.
Nisa, you finally making your pro debut after 6-time Golden Gloves champion. You're an active member of the NYPD, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of support. What are some of the parallels that you see between being an NYPD officer and being a boxer in the ring?
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to Tom and his team at 360 Promotions to be able to start my career in Madison Square Garden. 5 out of the 8 Golden Gloves that I've won was here in the Garden. Everything that I've done within the job has been prepared by my boxing career in the amateurs. So at the end of the day, it's who's willing to bang the most.
And this is your pro debut now. How many times are you looking forward to fighting this year coming up?
I would fight every month if I could. If they can find me an opponent, that's the biggest thing. I know we went through a lot of girls, and luckily my manager, Keith Sullivan, was able to get me someone finally. Oddly enough, I was supposed to fight a week prior to a smaller venue, and my manager called me and was like, I got bad news. You're not fighting, but if you're sitting down, I got better news. You're fighting in the Garden. So it's an honor to fight here.
Great. We're looking forward to see your pro debut, Nisa, for sure, in the ring. Cletus, you want to say a few words about being on this show? This is really your hometown.
Yeah. So I understand this process from starting over, from being a free agent, getting out of a contract. You go fight some club shows against tough guys, then you get the opening bout on a major network, a big network. And I'll be honest, I'm fucking sick of it. Being pushed to the back of the bus, and I've been doing this for so long. It took me 6 years from being held back to getting back into this ring to be back on TV. It's taken me 12 and a half years to fight again at Madison Square Garden. 12 and a half years. Not just 6 years, 12 and a half years. I am an hour train ride home. It's taken me 12 and a half years to get here. The grind that my team had to go through, the patience I've had with everybody, the sacrifice that I had to give up to get here. Me, my girlfriend, Elvis, my team, you know, we're still out there selling t-shirts, knocking on doors, selling tickets, selling the best we can, and we're still getting pushed back. I'm the opening bout on the fight. If you've seen my fights on HBO, I was the opening bout. My views were literally 15,000 views less than the main event because everybody tunes in for the kickoff. They tune in for the fight. Now, I don't give a fuck about my opponent. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like, I have no reason to. I'm going to do what I do with everybody else. I forget their names. They remind me to go watch out the highlight reel on YouTube. This grind, I am not giving up. Everybody's talking about my age. I'm 38 years old. Oh, Cletus, oh, you're 38. How would you work? How you making weight? What the fuck is wrong? It's the same goddamn question from every single person. 38, Terrence Crawford, Barroso, world champion, good champion, 40 years old. Benabiyev, 38 years old. Interesting. I'm fucking 38 years old, and I'm putting on a show, and this is how it goes. You have to build the fighter up, get him where he has to get pissed off because for some reason the world has made me the chosen guy. The boxing gods were like, oh, we're going to give this guy to grind, make him go up here, tell him he's going to go fuck off, and then go back out there and show everybody that you were right. Now, I'm going to end it with this. Friday night, Jews have always done one thing. That is continue to win, and we're going to do it again on Friday night. Thank you.
That's a pretty passionate speech. Cletus, and we're happy to have you on the show. We know your fans are going to be really loud, cheering for you on Friday night, especially after 12 and a half years coming back to MSG now.
Thank you. Also, my fans are going to be there. They're from Eastern Long Island. They're coming out. They're going to be drunk, oblivious. I'm the opening bout. I'm the opening bout. They're going to get thrown out before they get on, before Callum even gets out. I guarantee you. You're going to be able to talk. I got some inmates coming. I got some kids that I grew up with going to jail for 6 years or they just got out of jail. So I'm not just a typical Jew from Long Island or New York. I am from the fucking streets of Long Island and New York, bringing every different type of person you can find.
Oh, we're excited. We're excited about Friday night. So Joe, you've fought here 4 times previously at MSG. From Ireland. How does it feel fighting St. Patrick's Day weekend now at Madison Square Garden?
It's, first, I'd like to. Yeah, first I'd like to say it's nearly impossible to match that speech. I'm really impressed with that. But no, to be back here for the 5th time is really special for me. Fighting on the Galapagos undercard, here Feargal Lopez undercard, some really big nights here. And just be coming here this time to fight on a St. Patrick's weekend with Callum, an Irish guy, and Feargal, like, it's really special. I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing night. Madison Square Garden is going to be absolutely rocking come Friday evening, and we're here to put on a show. They don't call it the Fighting Irish for nothing, and we're here to do business and take care of everything that comes in front of us.
We're excited to have you back on the show, Joe. What do you know? Well, I want to acknowledge Adam Glenn, your manager, who's here in the audience with us. One of the best bars in New York City, Jimmy's Corner, who I've been to many times before, and know your father, may he rest in peace. Jimmy always brings back great memories, Adam, to have you here. Also, want to acknowledge Lou DeBella, your promoter. Lou also never lack for words with Lou, so we're happy to have you on the show, Joe. What do you know about, or tell us a little bit about your opponent, Derek Webster? He's here locally from New Jersey. He's coming to win the fight. What do you know about his opponent, and what kind of performance are you looking for on Friday?
Yeah, just obviously want to thank obviously Ludabella, the management team, Time for Boxing, 360 Promotion, yourself, Tom, and UFC Fight Pass for giving me this opportunity again to be back here fighting in the garden. My opponent, yeah, look at he's a good step up for me. He's 34 fights, 29 wins, he fought for a few titles, so I'm going in the right direction to push on for a big 2024. I want to be fighting for titles after this. I believe I'm up there with the best guys in the 175 division. I proved it in the amateurs for so long. Olympian, world medalist, European champion for 3 times. Probably one of the greatest Irish amateur fighters that ever come out of Ireland. And now it's just about getting opportunities. So come Friday night to take care of business and look good doing it, and move on to big fights in 2024.
Well, this is the biggest stage here at Madison Square Garden. Like I said, we're excited to have you on the show with all those amateur fights and the experience. I'm sure there'll be big things coming for you this year.
Absolutely. Look, we have a big fan base coming out, as I said, so we're really looking forward to it. And yeah, it's a big year ahead. So hopefully we can take care of business, which we will, and have a big year. Thanks very much.
Feargal, you want to say a few words about what it means now returning to Madison Square Garden in only 4 months, and how it felt here November 9th? That was your first time fighting at the Garden, and now returning on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Thanks for having us, Tom. 360 is always a pleasure to work with. November 9th was a special night in my career, finally making it to the Garden after so much effort and dreaming about being there. So look, we're back, and we're going to deliver a big performance and bring in so many people that you wouldn't believe. The people coming from Ireland is insane. I think our Lingus is going to have to name an airplane after me after tomorrow and Friday. But I don't want to be known as just a ticket seller. We're going to deliver Friday night. Callum Morgan has invested so much time in me. We're going to deliver a great performance against a very, very good operator who's competed at world level. He's fought for a world title. He's Mexican. He's tough. He's proud. He hits hard. St. Patrick's Day weekend, Madison Square Garden, Mexican for a title. That's what it's all about. We're ecstatic.
How does it feel, Feargal? Now you're fighting for a WBA title. How does that feel, fighting for a title here now at the Garden?
I never need extra incentive to train. I'm very committed and dedicated. I leave my family at home when I come to America on my own to prepare for these fights. But it's given me that little 0.01%. It's an extra motivational factor, definitely. But when I won the Irish title, the Irish lightweight title a few years back, I came home one night, and my daughter and her cousin were using it as a sleigh. So one was sitting on it, the other one was pulling it. Once I win this one Friday night, that's not happening. This is going on the mantelpiece. So it feels great, and I'm looking forward to it.
We're looking forward for sure on Friday night, Feargal, to see you up there. Now we have Dauren Yeleussinov. Nico, there, okay, Nico's here. He'll be translating for Dauren. So if Dauren wants to say a few words, Nico, how does it feel to be here in New York City? We know he came a long way from Kazakhstan, and how does it feel now to be in New York City and fighting at Madison Square Garden?
Даурен, что ты чувствуешь перед боем и что ты чувствуешь именно по поводу Нью-Йорк-Сити, по поводу города Нью-Йорк?
Мен дебютімді Нью-Йоркта бастағам, және маған бұл мені өте қуаттандырады бұл перспектива.
So, my debut was in New York City, actually, the first fight as a professional. So right now is my hometown, and I'm ready to win.
Now that's great. Dauren has a history, long history in the amateur boxing from the great Kazakh amateur team. His brother is an Olympic gold medalist. So we're excited to have Dauren on the show. We were earlier at the Empire State Building. What did he think about being all the way at the top of the Empire State Building?
Что ты думаешь по поводу Empire State Building, когда ты был там?
Я не первый раз там был, и это меня заряжает на успех. Также добраться высоко дает мне шанс этот бой.
I was here not the first time. So, and the fresh air all the way in the top give me more energy for the Friday night.
Well, yeah, I understand he's been training in the mountains in Kazakhstan. How did the training and the preparations go for this fight?
Я знаю, что ты тренировался в Казахстане в горах. Как ты готовился к этому бою?
Мы прошли хороший кемп, хороший лагерь и в горах, и в городских условиях, то есть на второй год был. Мы будем готовы к пятнице.
Yeah, so I had a camp for several weeks all the way in mountains. And as you understand, it's the fresh air every day, running, working out is good motivation for the future. And also after that, I went to the city and I sparring and I training a lot. So you will see on Friday.
Great. Well, we're definitely looking forward to the fireworks come Friday night. With that, I want to introduce someone who really doesn't need an introduction here. He's a Hall of Fame trainer. He's trained 42 world champions. We're honored to have Freddie Roach here. Freddie, what does it mean? What does it mean to have another fighter or to be here at Madison Square Garden again?
It's great, man. Very, very,
How did the training camp go? You're in Hollywood, California, the world famous Wildcard Boxing Gym. How did the training and the sparring go for preparation for this fight?
It was great. There's fun throughout, and I knew for this type.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to see your work in action and Callum's work in action. Callum, you know, it's most fighters' dreams to headline MSG one time in their career. You're doing it now for the second time in 4 months. What does something like that mean to you and to be featured on UFC Fight Pass again?
Yeah, no, like you said, it's a very rare thing. Yeah, it's a very rare thing to fight in Madison Square Garden as the main event in 4 months, especially for a 23-year-old young fella from Cork. You know, it's like I'm coming out here and like last time, you know, I put on a good show in November. We didn't get the knockout, but I put on a good 10-round fight for the fans and everybody that was there that night. I hope is going to come back Friday night, and I'm going to, you know, try to do the same thing. Every time I go out there and put on a fight, I take tough fights. I don't take easy fights, and I try to give the fans and everybody that shows up what they're looking for, and it's good fights and entertainment. So I'm looking forward to getting back in there and fighting again on UFC Fight Pass. You know, this is going to be my 10th fight, and looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to taking that WBC belt back home.
This will be a brand new belt if you win it. You're matched up with Dauren here, very tough fighter from Kazakhstan. How does it feel? Again, your preparations, preparing to fight Dauren, and what are your plans? If you can win this title, what would be the rest of your plans coming up for this year?
Yeah, you know, I take every opponent the same. I don't take anyone light. You know, every opponent is coming to beat me. You know, that's the thing about fighting as the main event in Madison Square Garden. These opponents are coming to win. You know, they're coming to take the spot. And like you said, he's got a good camp. You know, he's trained up in the mountains and he's coming to win. So that's what I expect. I expect the best version of everybody I fight. And yeah, like you said, I'm just looking forward to winning that belt. And who knows, I'm your other promoter, so you tell me what happens after that.
I know Dana has a few plans for you coming up. We'll see how that goes. But you know, first you take care of business on Friday night, then we'll see how everything goes. So again, we want to thank everyone for coming out. Once again, the doors open at 6 o'clock on Friday night. We're going to have the ceremonial weigh-ins here at the theater lobby, 2:30 p.m. tomorrow. So we're inviting all the media to come out for that. Then we're going to pose the fighters here. We can do a group photo, and then we can do a face-off with the main event fighters.